Hey guys, Brad M73 here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. Let's see, we're going to jump out here really quick, and actually no, we're not. We're going to jump back in here because I want to get the I want to get my field. I want to get my fields joined. Well, at least let's see. Let me get my. There we go. Yep, 24 and 25. I want to definitely join those fields up. Right meow. And I think we have to unfold the plow. Is that right? No? I guess it was already unfolded. Okay. And I don't think there are any... Yeah, turn plow, hire worker. Oh, somebody was telling me the other day when I was doing the... from the first episode, when I was doing the tutorial, I just had to hit F1 and it brought up the controls menu. And yes, it does show hire worker. Can I... wait, can you hire workers to plow now? Oh, I guess you could hire workers before to plow too, that's right. But not create fields, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get right about on this field edge. And I got to get my right inward tire kind of like on the field edge. I'm hoping that that's okay. I kind of want to go a little bit more in there. Maybe about there. And basically point it straight across the field there. And, oh, why are we... I'm trying to slow down time here. Let's see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Y, which will allow create fields. So now it says limit to fields, but we're in create fields mode. Hit V to lower it. Now you got to be very careful when doing this. And we're just going to go straight across... Oh, I think we went too far in. But, yep, we went a little too far in. So we'll back up. Kind of figure out... Oh, right there is where we went wrong. And, whoops, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, another thing that's really helpful is lower your cruise control to maybe like 4 miles per hour or so. That way you're not going too incredibly fast, and here I'm going too far left again. Okay, let's try this again. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, my OCD would probably kick in. I don't really have OCD, but you know, I definitely do want my fields to look nice, and I want them to have straight borders. So, yeah, I'm going to try to make the, you know, the outer boundary lines look as neat as I possibly can. So we'll do a little bit of plowing here. I don't think the fields need to be plowed. But I usually like to go about 2 or 3 times down each side. Like this. Let's go ahead and turn this plow. I really do like this plow, even though it's small, because it turns. Kind of like the plow in, well, like the old Professional Farmer game. I always did like that plow because it turned, whereas the really small, the smallest plow in Farming Simulator, it doesn't actually turn. So, you know, you can't really get a good bead on, because for example, like this outer edge where the little tire is on the plow, whenever you make, you know, small adjustments in your direction, that part of the plow is going to have the most motion, where the inboard, you know, this first plow here, that's the one you want to have on your border, and it's going to have the least amount of motion, not emotion. Doesn't get all emotional on me. That would be terrible. So yeah. Hopefully you guys understood. Otherwise you guys are just going to be like, what the heck is Brad talking about? And then I'm not even going to know what I'm talking about. So, alright, so we're going to get this lined up. I kind of like to line the exhaust pipe up. Kind of right, if I back off there and I line that exhaust pipe up, Let's see, let's go down. I'm going to reduce the cruise control to 3 miles per hour. We're still on create fields modes. Create fields mode, my bad. Alright, so let's kick the cruise control on, and again, just trying to kick, uh-oh, we went a little bit wide, I think. Let's see here. Worst case scenarios, I can just follow it all the way down the field, and it's not going to be that big of a problem. Oh, no, we went a little bit too wide there, too. Alright, so not, you know, it's not the end of the world. We'll just have to wait and see how it looks to see if my OCD truly, you know, kicks in and I have a nervous breakdown or something. No, I doubt that'll happen. So let's take a look really quick. I want to look at my money really. So we have no loan whatsoever. We've spent $63,612 this first day. We still have $36,000 left. Now, another thing that I kind of want to take a look at are the contracts. Now, there are going to be contracts where you're going to be able to make money. Those are typically going to be harvesting contracts for any of grains. So like corn, like this one, you know, wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, corn, and sunflowers. You're typically going to make money on those. By hiring a worker. The jobs that you're probably not going to make money on are going to be like potatoes and sugar beets. You might make some money on them, but I generally, in my experience of playing Farming Sim for the last 2 weeks, it's been my experience where I've either lost a little bit of money, gained a little bit of money, maybe a few $1,000s, but the amount of money that you put in for a hired worker to actually like drive the combines is basically going to offset the majority of your gains. The reason why sugar beets and potatoes get singled out of this is because those two harvesters have the narrowest header. So here the header on this one is what? Like it's only like 4, does it say 4? It doesn't really say, but I think this one is like 3 or 4 meters. It doesn't say what it is here. If we go to the sugar beet harvesters, why don't these say? These should be saying. But these have much narrower headers. Oh wait, I know why it doesn't say. This one actually does have the built-in header, but I think we actually have to go to beet technology or potato technology. Oh, here's the header. 3.2 meters. That's literally as wide as you get. That's as wide as the header comes. And then in sugar beets, you've got one for the Grima, 3 meters. The Ropas are 2.7 and 4 meters. And then the Homer, which is the best one, is 5.4 meters. Still not very competitive with the larger combine. So it's going to take a lot more passes up and down the field in order to do that. So we will, well, let's see. I got to get this, let's get this plowed first. No, I want to turn it around. I want to turn it around. There we go. And now that we're kind of like in field a little bit more, you know, I can turn up the speed on the tractor. And I'm kind of going opposite the direction I typically like to go, but and this is all we do. So the reason why I'm doing this is we're going to get, you know, quite a bit more crop from this central area here. And so I want to make sure that I get as much crop as I possibly can. All right. So the other thing I am going to mention is I'm still running on the day one patch. Giants has told me that there is going to be another hotfix patch coming up very soon. I don't have an exact date on it, but by the time you're watching this video, you may or may not already have the patch. I just don't know. So my current version is version 1.1.0. So, if you're watching this down the line somewhere, 3 months, 6 months, a year, maybe several years down the line, the game could, you might see changes in the game that aren't apparent in this version. So just kind of be aware of that as we do, as we go through the Let's Play. And then I will, whenever I update to a new version, I will definitely let you know at the beginning of each episode. Well, not each episode, but I will let you know at the beginning of the episode where I've upgraded the version, so that you guys are aware of what I'm doing. All right. One thing that's kind of weird is on the plow, or at least on this plow, I don't see any dirt kicking up, so I don't know. That could be a bug. I should be running... Yeah, I'm running everything graphically on as high as it'll go, so I don't really know why I'm not getting any particles on that. One thing I could check is... Let's drop the Amazon, and let's go get the cultivator, because I know for a fact that this cultivator has a particle effect on it. And now I'm paranoid that maybe I did inadvertently turn something off, but I would be shocked if I did. But that's literally like the first time I've ever noticed that that plow not having like any particle effects on it. And I've used that plow several times already. Yeah, so here we've got particle effects. You can see like the little dirt clods popping up and things like that. So why we don't on this, I don't know. Let's move the New Holland out of the way. Otherwise, that's going to cause us some problems here. And hire the worker, which I thought I did, but apparently I did not. Okay, so we're still in create fields mode on this guy. Always be careful of that, because sometimes you'll accidentally stay in create fields mode and you go off outside of your field boundary, and you can really mess your map up if you're not careful. Trust me, I've done it before. I unfortunately know from experience. Now, if I really wanted to, I could also join up, that field over here, but I think that might end up causing a few more problems than it solves. So I'm just going to join these two fields for right now. All right. So once I get done with this, I'll let my worker continue to finish off this field, and then oh man, I thought I was backed up too far. I thought, oh no, I've messed up my field already. That is so... Oh wait, now we're getting particles. Huh. Maybe... And now we're not getting particles. What's going on there? Oh, now we're getting particles. I wonder if it has to do maybe with the angle that I'm viewing the tool with. That is weird. Maybe chalk it up to another bug. You know, I would say this has probably been, you know, the most bug-free release of any farming sim to date. And that's not to say that they've all gone perfectly, or that this one's gone perfectly, but you know, now that there's so many people playing, you know, your giants and players alike are starting to notice, you know, where there are potential problems in the game. So nothing really super huge though, but maybe little nitpicky things. I did read something about, oh, now what I want to do is I want to hit Y to limit to fields, and now we should be good. And the other thing I want to check before I call it a day on the plow is we want to go into soil composition, and then that definitely needs plowing. It needs lime too. Do I don't think I have any lime. So what I'm going to do... Okay, we're going to put the plow down. And I'm going to come over with this guy here. And we're just going to, we're going to take... Since we have fertilizer in here, we're going to take this over, probably over here in the barnyard. And we're just going to offload all of the fertilizer. And one of the super nice aspects of Farming Simulator 19 is you can actually unload your seeders. All I have to do is hit I for unload. Bam, and there are my 3 seed pallets. So 2 of the pallets have, you know, 1,000 each, and then the last one has, you know, whatever the odd number was. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to take this up. We're going to get a few pallets of lime. Actually, I don't even think I'm going to buy pallets. I think I'm going to go up to the biogas plant. I think that's the nearest place to buy lime. And we'll go and buy some lime. Now, lime, to fill this up, I think it's probably going to be around $3,000 to somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000. But it does go incredibly fast as you're using it. So that's just another thing to kind of be aware of. Ah! Oh my gosh. I didn't want to knock the sign over. I just wanted to get my Xbox controller out here. I think I mentioned it in the first episode. I don't use any steering wheels or anything like that. Mainly I use mouse and keyboard, but when I'm driving long distances, I do like to use my Xbox 360 wired controller. Because, you know, you can just make more gentle turns instead of it being really, you know, like now I'm using the keyboard, and it, you know, turning is a lot, you know, even when I want to make small adjustments, you can see how the steering wheel looks really jerky. Now I'm using my Xbox controller, and it's a, you know, steering can be a lot more smooth. So it is a little bit tough to see where I'm going with the gigantic plow on the front of my tractor. So we'll go down here past the dealer, And we're going to pull in up ahead here and just drop the plow off in the drop-off zone, I guess, or the sell zone. And I'm pretty sure that'll allow me to... Let's see, okay, yep, it is selected. So let's just back out of that. Come over here, hit R, and then we'll return that. Perfect. So now we'll head on up to the old biogas plant, and we'll pick up some lime for the field. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and completely fill it with lime. That way, in the future, you know, probably in the next few episodes, we're going to have plenty of lime. We won't have to run up here nearly as often. Now, if you're playing, well, let's see. Let's kind of look around a little bit, because that's one thing we haven't really seen too much of in the map yet. Now, I did do a map tour video. Definitely want to check that out if you have not seen the map yet. Right here is the stockyards, and behind that, you can see the little black icon there, kind of on the opposite side. That's actually where you purchase animals. Okay, so right up here, there's going to be a little silo, and I'm going to hit N to open this up. The N key. We can turn on our controls here, and start filling. Wait, is it? Oh, left. You can hit lime. See, I'm using the controller now, and it'll just fill it up. And we can sit here, relax, you know, have something to drink. Gosh, we're still not even half full. Again, this holds like, what, 14,000 liters? Quite a lot. Okay, we're almost empty, or empty. We're almost full, and bam. And that was $3,149. So not a terribly expensive amount of money, especially considering when, you know, considering how much fertilizer is for, you know, 1,000 liters. You know, it's like, what, around $1,500 or something like that. So it's a lot more expensive. Okay, I want to make sure that the train's not coming here. I always love going through the railroad crossing here, and the crossing guards acting as guillotines. If you guys watch my live stream episodes, I can't remember if it was like episode 4 or 5, something like that. I want to say it was somewhere around 22 minutes into the live stream. We had a crossing guard come down, nail my tractor, and my tractor went flying on top of one of the buildings near the farm shop, you know, where you buy and sell the tractors and equipment. And it was definitely worth a good laugh. All right, so we're going to come up here. And, oh, he's doing pretty good. So I'm going to switch back over to keyboard and mouse here. We're going to hit X to unfold the spreader. Just going to turn that off, and we're going to just hit like this, and we're going to go straight across the field. Just like that. Oh no! Our tractors are intertwined. What in the world is he doing? It's going to be interesting to see if he lines back up properly. That'll be awesome if he does. Oh, we missed a little line here. And I'm pretty impressed. He actually did pretty good getting her line back up again. And I'm just going to go all the way across here. Not going to be that big of a deal. Now you can kind of, you know, do kind of a little, almost like a bounce on your B key, just to do, but more quickly than that. And that will save you, if you do it manually, your finger's going to get super tired, but it's going to save you a ton of money from, you know, doing it, or, you know, just from, what am I trying to say here? It's going to save you a lot of time from going up and buying more lime. The reason is for whatever reason, this machine burns through lime like nobody's business, and yet it uses the fertilizer, you know, relatively sparingly. So I don't know why, you know, it uses lime so quickly. Again, I don't know if that's a bug or not, but it's just something that I've noticed with the game. All right, so we're filling up the fertilizer again. All right. And now what I'm going to do is, let's see, let's put this in the barn down here. We'll grab the seeder here, and we're going to get started seeding on our newly conjoined fields 24 and 25, and also 26. If I need to, I can't remember if I need to cultivate those or not. I think I do. All right. And so let's drive up here really quick, because for some reason I think, yeah, this field is mostly cultivated. Looks like he's got a little bit of, well, oh, the end plowing to do over here. All right. What about field 26? Did I already cultivate that? I guess we did, though, didn't we? I guess, yeah, I think we did. Okay, so I did want to turn, did I turn seeding off? Let's turn off seed and fertilizer for right now, just to be a little bit more realistic. Helper H has completed their task. Why? A lower, turn on. There we go. And oh wait, did I already seed this field? Oh, I already seeded this field. Well, then that explains that explains why it didn't work. Okay, so it looks like the other helper over there is finished. So I guess what I'm going to do is I will hook him up on this field for right now. Going in this direction. And we've got a couple spots I think I need to clean up. So I am rather, well, no, he went, oh, he didn't even get that spot. So I know right here, we'll do that, and then, yeah, we need to, I was hoping that the worker would be smart enough to come across the field and do this little bit, but it looks like he was not. As far as like worker smarts, I know a lot of people were hoping for, these, new workers that were, way more intelligent than they have been in the past. I'll be honest with you, they're pretty much about the same as they used to be. They've said that, oh, the workers are going to be a little bit more clever, but in some cases they are, and in other cases you just want to, slap them silly. So, I don't have like a definitive yes, they're great or anything like that, but kind of it is what it is. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to do this contract. I think I'm going to do it with Karen Diaz because we get a pretty good payoff. It is corn, which means we're probably going to get a few, I would say maybe about $4,000 or $5,000 above this price. The lease price of the equipment is very low. It's only $3,100. And, we're also going to get probably a semi truck and a trailer, maybe like a Wilson trailer. We also have some fertilizing missions, though these tend to run a lot more expensive. If you use your own fertilizer, you actually don't get reimbursed for your fertilizer. So you kind of have to take that off of the cost of the field. Now, that said, again, even with a hired worker, you don't use fertilizer super, super, super fast, but it's still another cost associated with doing the fertilizing. We also have another harvesting job on field 7 that we can do. So field 8, that is going to be the biggest one. We want to lease the items. We definitely just don't want to accept the contracts. Make sure you lease items if you're going to do that, especially when we basically have no money right now. And we will be able to tab eventually. Oh, let me get this guy so well, how do I want to do this? I think either way. We've got a few trees up at the other end of the field, at the south end of the field. We're actually on the north end. And those trees tend to interfere with the worker turning around. So we'll just see how this worker works out and go from there. All right, so we've got the Fent Ideal 8T. And I'm not even going to worry about putting this header on the trailer. We're just going to drive it straight up like this. And again, make sure the train isn't coming. And we'll kick over to the in-cab view. I love the air ride seats. That is so cool. That's something that has been missing from Farming Sim for a very long time. Very nice to see that. Make sure we get over far enough not to hit the car. If you look at the mini-map down at the bottom left, you're going to see like a circle on there. And that's our designated selling point for this job. Now, it can be the worst selling point for the money, but that's where we're going to have to sell it. It might be, it's either straight ahead up. Okay, so this is field 8, I think. Yes. All right, let's get everything unfolded. I want to get this started. I don't think we're going to be able to complete this in this episode, though we might be able to. We'll have to wait and see. You first need a build harvester. Whoa. So let's see if we go to the bigger map. Oh, nope, I lied. The selling point is the ranch. So he's going to go off. He's going to, we're going to do corn on this field. And we got a nice John Deere 7270R and a Yoskin trailer. Kind of wish we had a bigger trailer because corn will, you know, we'll get yields of corn pretty quickly. So we might have to spend a little bit more time on this contract. So let's take over. Let's look at the inside. Ooh, nice air ride suspension again. Very nice interior. Loving the details on the seats. If I look straight down there and try not to crash. Oh, I can see the yellow stripe there on the left, so yeah, that's good. Got the different controls there. Yeah, the interior of the tractors in FS19 is just, I'll be honest, I've been blown away. They've been that good this time around. All right, so we're going to park him up here and turn him off. And just for fun, let's go and see. So he's already about a quarter of the way full, and we're about halfway up the field. So you can see, you know, this thing's gonna fill up really quick. Another thing that I was wanting to do in the last episode was buy a seeder that does, you know, cultivating and fertilizing in a single pass. We'll probably just make do with the small seeder here off the start. But one thing I do need to do is I do need to fertilize. So let's grab the fertilizer. We're going to come over here, and it looks like, I'm just looking at field 19. Looks like field 19, the seeder worker may have missed a few spots. So definitely not happy about that. Or wait, maybe this is the fertilizer. No, I think it's the fertilization. But still he missed a spot. And I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so we'll come down here. It looks like there's a little squirt down there. Let's drive up to field number 26. Actually, we can do 24 and 25 while he's seeding. It's not going to be a problem. You can fertilize directly over the seed. Even in the first growth stage, we're not going to have any crop destruction or anything like that. So we can just, right here, go straight up the field without any problems whatsoever. Another thing that is kind of nice about the fertilizer, too, is it will cover up the lime if you don't like that, you know, showing up. You can just, if the field needs to be fertilized, it'll actually, you know, essentially coat the lime, I guess. Now, if this were dry fertilizer, you know, like the little field pellets, or I don't know if it's nitrogen or exactly what it is. Nitrogen's typically a gas or a liquid, but I don't know exactly how they put that into like a solid form for fertilization. But I don't know. There's different types of fertilizers. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination on fertilizers. I'm not even remotely going to claim to be. Alright, so we will... Okay, that field's done. And then, did we do that? No, we did not do this one. And you can see how the fertilizer changes the colors of the soil, kind of darkens it up a little bit. And we can see all this fertilizer that we put out. We've only, you know, so far only used a couple hundred liters of fertilizer, where if we were putting out lime, we probably would have burned halfway through already. Okay, so Helper D has a nearly full grain tank already, so we're going to definitely want to go up and check on him really quick. Yeah, see, he's almost full. So let's start this up. Now, one of the nice things about the contracts is that you can drive through the crops, and it's not going to destroy them. It only if you have now. I do have crop destruction enabled, but it doesn't work on the contracts. They probably made it that way because if they had crop destruction on and you destroyed so much of the crop that it was impossible to finish, then it might, cause the contract to bug out. Uh-oh. Now, here's another issue that I've been having with this Yoskin trailer and the 8T. I don't know if it's specific to the 8T, but sometimes it does not like to fill this trailer. And you'll notice it looks like it's... okay, now it's filling. It's almost like you kind of have to get it right at the sweet spot. And then it'll finally work. And I've even tried, you can do... no, is it this way? Oh, yeah. You can put the tipper sides down. You can even do... let's see, is it the front? Yeah, the little front piece there, moves down. I don't think it changes the capacity of the trailer at all. But you can do it, and it doesn't really seem to help the target. So that it could be something that Giants is aware of, and will be hopefully fixed in the first, not the day one patch, but the first patch after the day one patch. So I'll keep my fingers crossed. That's all I can do. All right, so let's start this up. We're gonna put the cedar back, or the... not the cedar, but the fertilizer spreader here. Fertilizer / lime spreader, I guess, if we want to get super technical. And boom. All right. So let's see. We just have the seed to do over here. That's all good. And yeah, we just kind of have to wait for the farm to do its thing. So I guess, let's see. I'm going to check my field health here. So let's go to the map. We have all the fields growing except, where we're seeding here. I'm going to go to the soil composition. This is probably your most important screen in the game. This is going to tell you when your fields need plowing. Let's see if any fields need plowing. Field number 8 obviously is going to, because we're harvesting corn there. Oddly, none of the other fields appear to need it. They're also going to tell you what fertilization stage your field is in as well. So you can see there's 2 colors of blue. There's kind of like a lighter blue and a darker blue. Like all of our fields right now are the lighter colored blue. Field 23 here is darker colored, and you can see like 14, 15, 16, and 17 are alternating back and forth between the darker and the lighter fertilization. When you put down one layer of fertilizer, that gives it the lighter tone, and then the second layer of fertilizer, which you'll usually put on anywhere from the first to the last growth stage, will darken it up. Okay. On top of that, there's going to be weeds, and some of the fields, we're probably not going to have any yet that need to be weeded. I'm not sure if we've had any. I don't think in the last episode we had any indication of weeding or anything like that. Also needs lime. It's going to show you which fields need lime. So if you own fields that need lime on it, obviously we saw that earlier when I had to put lime in between field 24 and 25, because that's where the 2 fields joined up and nothing has been there before. So we got that done, and then needs plowing. So let's see, is there anything else I really needed to discuss? Now, weeds, there's something important I need to tell you about weeding. and we're going to back out, and we're going to actually look at the weeders that are available. I think right now, as of the day 1 patch, you can weed in the first and second growth stage. I think that's a bug. I think you're only supposed to be able to weed in the first growth stage. I don't know when that is going to be fixed, but we've got a few different weeders here. We have one that'll essentially weed and I think it's seeding at the same time. That's the grass, or the seed, but it'll weed. It'll put down grass, the oilseed radish. Now, oilseed radish is not a crop that you can harvest. It's a tillable fertilizer. So you can plant oilseed radish and come back with a cultivator and cultivate that in for additional fertilization. I used it quite heavily back in Farming Simulator 17. Haven't really used it in Farming Simulator 19. And I can't really, are very few situations where I have to weed and seed in the same go. But this one does not have a fertilizer on here unless you can attach it to, something else that would fertilize at the same time. Otherwise, I'm not really going to probably ever use this. But the Einbach Aerostar Rotation 1200 and the, I think this is the Treffler, I'm starting to go blind here, the TS 1520 M3, these are both very useful. You're probably going to buy both of these throughout the course of the game, if not even have multiples as you get more fields, because you're going to be doing a lot of weeding, and you're going to want it to get done quickly. So I don't know. I might buy one of the larger ones right off the bat just to kind of reduce the weeding time for you guys. But that's something that we need to kind of watch out for. Hopefully we don't get any weeds on this first growth cycle, but I'm pretty much betting that we're probably going to. All right, so, yep. He is stuck again. Oh, I love the seats. Ooh, nice John Deere logo. There's our Yoskin, what is it? Dracar or no, Dracar, yeah. Dracon Noir. That's a cologne, by the way. And we're going to run into the same problem. Come on. Okay, if I put it right there, it's going to fill up. All right. I don't care as long as it fills up. Uh-oh. Until we get it like right to the perfect spot where that end of the tipper is full. Ugh. Huh? All right, so we'll start filling it from the front, I guess. Now, one thing I'm not sure that I tried is whether or not I can fill this while in motion. So maybe we'll try that. Okay, so he's empty. You do have to move the your tippers out of the way to get the combine moving again. And again, I don't know if that's a bug, but it might be. Let's just see what happens here when I pull up next to it. Yeah, see, it's just not offloading into this tipper for whatever reason while in motion. Kind of a little bit right there. And let's tab back into the combine. The only reason I want to do this is so that I can take control. And we're just gonna take care of this. And then I'm also going to go across the north side of the field. We're just going to go across and back, or down and back, or whatever you want to say. However you want to say it. Whoa. All right. I can imagine as a farmer, like when you're doing this all day, like this would just completely hypnotize me. I don't know, it would just be relaxing, and then I would just get hypnotized, and the next thing you know, you're harvesting straight through a little family of deer. Oh, that would be terrible. Speaking of that, I don't know if it was my cousin that this happened to. I just remember my cousin telling me about it a few years ago. Apparently somebody, it was either him or somebody he knew. I'm not too clear on this story now, but somebody had actually hit a deer with their corn header, and I guess it significantly damaged the corn header. And I don't really know what they do in those situations where, you know, if they hit an animal and you've got blood and all kinds of other just, you know, entrails entering your grain bin, like, I don't really know how they deal with that. I mean, not that it's like, you know, I guess you just have to take the combine in and clean it out and empty everything out. I don't know if the crop is considered to be contaminated or anything like that. What is going on? Why is he slowing down here? No. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really how, you know, how that's dealt with on a farm. But, you know, it's definitely a realistic concern that you got to have when you're out there farming. Because I know, you know, my cousin, he really goes probably a little bit slower because we have tons of deer, you know, up around where our farm is. I'm sure a lot of farmland does. And some years ago, I was actually walking back on our farm, the farm that my mother owns. My cousin farms it. He plants, well, he had planted corn there that year. And, you know, I like to, you know, just sometimes if I go up there, especially like in the maybe midsummer or something like that, I'll walk around the field. I'll check the property lines and, you know, make sure nobody's growing anything nefarious down there and so on and so forth. Oh, now it's offloading just fine. Like a conspiracy now. But, I went back there one time, and there was like this big circle in the corn. And I mean, it was like probably about 30 feet. Well, maybe more than that. Maybe, no, it was more than 30 feet. It was probably maybe more like 75 to 100 feet in diameter. And I kind of thought it's either one of two things. I thought because of where it was located and because of the way the wind will blow in off the field, especially during a storm if there's really high winds, that maybe it was caused by the, you know, like a little mini tornado whipping around the tree line and, you know, and causing damage to the crops just in that location. So I was talking to my cousin about it, a different cousin, and she kind of thought, well, maybe it's deer that are bedding down there. And I thought, you know what? I never thought of that. But, you know, I don't think we ever answered the question. Like, it remains a mystery. All right, so what I'm doing now is we're taking the corn up to the ranch. Now, again, you do not want to sell this crop. You don't want to, put it in your own silo or anything like that. You want to sell it exactly at the place you're supposed to sell it. Now, I know sometimes people will get in their heads, well, I want to get more money for it. Well, it doesn't matter. You're doing a contract for other people. And we can actually look at the price really quick. Let's turn on the cruise control. So if we go up here to corn, we can see that the best price that we would actually get would be at that central grain elevator and not at the ranch. But, and I'm not going to go up this way, even though we could go up that way. It's just going to slow us down. So we'll kind of go up the gentle slope, and we'll be able to keep our speed up a little bit better. What we're going to want to do is after we have, 99% of the grain deposited, we're going to want to come back, and when we come back to sell the very final bit, we're going to want to do it in smaller increments, because anything that's left over once we get 100% contract completion, we can sell wherever we want. And I don't know that if you guys have been watching my live streams, I've probably explained this a million times. And I'll probably explain it, when I do jobs in the future. But just something to be aware of. All right, so we'll pull up here, hit I, or, I think it's right bumper and the Y key on your Xbox controller. And again, you can see at the top right, we're not getting any money because this is all for the contract. So that's 16%. So we have to do this like, 7 more times? Something like that. Which is why I say, we're not going to get this done in this episode. What is nice, however, about contracts is, we can actually speed up time. Now, the only thing I haven't tried is enabling crop withering and speeding up time. I don't know if contract crops will wither if withering is enabled and you speed up time. That would be my only concern. And I might actually have to do some experimentation with that and find out what really happens. Is it are you gonna shoot yourself in the foot by doing that, or is it not really that big of a deal? I just, I don't have an answer for you guys as far as that goes. All right, so I just saw the combine up here. Look at that nice big combine. The only thing that I would kind of be worried about if I had a large black combine would be, okay, I've got a gigantic black combine in the middle of a field, and if it's sunny out, if you guys know anything about light, black absorbs light and heat. And I don't know, I would just imagine it being like the hottest combine in the universe. Obviously you're going to have air conditioning, but gee, man, that's going to really test the system for sure. Wow, we've already gotten 12,000 liters of corn. And again, I mean, you can really see how quickly we're processing corn here. Really crazy stuff. Well, guys, I think that's really going to do it for this episode. We'll come back. We'll continue the harvest here and continue on with more Farming Simulator 19. As always, please don't forget to hit that like button. It does help me out tremendously. And if you haven't done so, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. And please subscribe for this and many more videos. Guys, thank you again for watching. I'm Bradham73, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.